Welcome back to the Anfield Exchange, and it's deadline day tomorrow, Friday the 31st of January. Liverpool not been active in this transfer window. I think a lot of us expected them to be a little bit active, especially with what we've got going on in the squad at the minute. We weren't particularly active in the last window. We brought Chiesa in for 10 million. We're yet to see how that's going to pan out. But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of players. Well, we've got the big three players whose contracts are expiring. We still don't know where we stand with that. And what I want to talk about today is Jorrel Hato. He's a 19-year-old centre-back. Welcome back to the Anfield Exchange, and it's transfer deadline day tomorrow, 31st of January. Liverpool not been active in this window so far, barely active in the last transfer window, and we're yet to sort of see what Richard Hughes is about, what bringing Michael Edwards back to the club is about, what type of player Arne Slot likes. But what I think we can talk about today, and we are going to, is Jorrel Hato. Jorrel Hato is a fantastic prospect. He's 19 years old. He's predominantly a left back, but he can play centre back as well. He's left footed. And if you go back 2 years ago, we were potentially looking at the likes of Hincapié, Bastoni, left footed centre backs, and that was something that we identified as a need in the Liverpool squad. Obviously, we've got Virgil van Dijk who plays there at the minute, and nobody's going to be ousting him. There's not even a question about that. But we don't know if he's going to sign his contract. I believe he probably will, but you just don't know. The one thing I like about this is Hato is versatile, so he can play in those two positions, and I think this bodes well for us because if you look at the potential deals we're going to have to do to strengthen the back line, we may have Trent leaving in the summer. We probably will. We may have Van Dijk leaving in the summer as it stands. Robertson and Costas are not good enough, and we've got Mohamedashvili coming into the club next year in the summer. What that means for Alisson, I'm not sure. I would be surprised if Mohamedashvili was coming in to sit on the bench, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. So potentially, if Mohamedashvili does start, we could be looking at 4 out of the 5 of the back line being new players, and that's not something you want to do when recently they've not been as solid defensively, but in the earlier stages of the season we were so solid. That being said, I do think Jorrel Hato would be a fantastic signing because if you look at the two other positions that we potentially need to strengthen, left back and centre back, I'm not sure Robertson and Costas will both be here next year. I think Van Dijk will. But the beauty about the Hato deal is you're effectively buying 2 positions for the price of 1. So, depending on what happens with Robertson and Costas, I know we're looking at Kirkes allegedly. If that comes off, then perfect. Hato can probably just be covered as centre-back and get his run out as centre-back and give him the time he needs to develop. If we don't get the Kirkes deal done, Hato is more than capable of playing at left back, and he would be a very, very good signing for left back. He's young, he's got bags of pace, he is good on the ball, and he's just a very clever player. His passing's very good, and he's got so much room to develop. His ceiling is so high that I think, this is a signing that me personally, I would like to see done before the transfer deadline window shuts. We'll have to wait and see what we do though as a club. It's not like Liverpool to go out there and sign someone on the last day of the transfer window, so I'm not expecting it too much. But if not, I believe it's potentially something that will be looked at in the summer. And what I want to say, obviously, in the last couple of days, the Hato news has gained traction. He was at Anfield the weekend just gone when we played Ipswich. He was invited from Gravenberch, who he is Dutch national teammates with. He was there watching Gravenberch, Gakpo and Van Dijk. And again, I think that's another aspect that bodes well for Liverpool because he's obviously friends with these guys. He obviously enjoys these guys' company. And why wouldn't he want to come to a club where these guys are playing? It wouldn't make sense. So I do think that's a positive as well. And look, the manager's also Dutch. So it's not like he's coming into a club where he will be the only Dutch player and he won't have anyone to lean on, anyone to sort of socialise with. It wouldn't be like that. Also as well, John Heitinger, Liverpool, Arne Slot's backroom staff, he was the guy who gave Hato his debut for Ajax. So there's a connection there as well. And I think, look, if anyone knows, it will be Heitinger if he's worked with the guy. And Liverpool will do the due diligence on this. They'll look at them and they'll look at the numbers. They'll have those conversations backstage. But John Heitinger will be telling the Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, he'll be explaining to them, look, this guy is really good at this. He can do this. He can do this. He's not so good at that. But with a little bit of training, that can develop. And that's the beauty of bringing in a 19-year-old. You can develop them and help them reach the potential that every FIFA and Football Manager fan will know who this guy is. He's an absolute baller. And if Liverpool can help him reach those heights, I think this would be a fantastic deal all round. He's played 92 games for Ajax already at 19. He's played 5 games in the Dutch national team, 19. And I think that's brilliant. He's quite an experienced 19-year-old. And it reminds me, if you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold when he was 19, they've had a similar sort of trajectory. And both of their careers are just going on the up at the minute. I would be surprised if Ajax let him leave in the summer though. That's my one issue. Ajax are currently in a title fight with PSV. And what are they? They're 4 points behind PSV with a game in hand. So I would be massively surprised if Ajax let him leave in January. I think they will probably be aiming more for the summer. I think if a deal can get done in January, look, Hato's valued at around 30 million. I think if we were to bring him in the next, by tomorrow, we're probably going to have to pay over the odds for that. And that's not really how Liverpool work. So I would expect this will probably be a summer signing if it was to go ahead. But we'd have to wait and see. There has been a lot of interest in Hato from some of the top clubs in Europe. Real Madrid, one of them, who aren't me interested in it at the minute. He's Ajax's 3rd youngest player ever, behind Ryan Gravenberch and Clarence Seedorf. He is under contract till 2028, so look, that's what bumps his price up as well. All these aspects come into play when you're looking at making a new deal, a new signing. He's under contract till 2028. Now, this is what I think FSG will be looking at, and the value he can add to our squad as a centre-back, as a left-back. He's on 16 grand a week at Ajax, around that number. He's one of those players who has a high ceiling, potential resale value, how much he can grow. So he's an asset. I'm looking at it from a business point of view for FSG there. He's an asset in terms of they're more likely to make a profit on this guy if we were to sell him later on down the line, because of his age and because of his current value. But yeah, he's on 16 grand a week. So if he was to come in, he would also fall within the Liverpool wage structure as well, where I think you'd probably see a 50, 60 grand a week contracts being put in front of him. Look, that's more than double what he's on at the minute at Ajax. So it would be a no-brainer on his part to come and play with Gakpo, with Gravenberch, with Van Dijk, more money in a more prestigious club. And that's no disrespect to Ajax, but Liverpool is a step above in terms of we will be challenging for Champions Leagues, we will be challenging for the Premier League. That is a given. So I think it would be a no-brainer for him to have that in his mind. He was voted in 2024. He was the 12th best wonder kid in the next gen wonder kid list, which again tells you all you need to know. This guy he's been around for a couple of years. A lot of people have known about this guy for a few years. Like I say, FIFA fans, Football Manager fans, they've all known about him. They've all known about how good this guy can be. And I think we're getting to that stage now where potentially he's about to take the next step, and now would be the perfect time to sign him. If I'm Liverpool, I want to bring this guy in now. He just gives us a little bit more confidence in that left back position. If Konate gets injured, he can come in and cover alongside Van Dijk. And I just think it makes sense. He obviously enjoys coming to Liverpool. He was there against Ipswich. So, yeah, get this deal done. I would love it if we could do it in the next couple of days. But if not, the summer, I think this is a deal that needs to happen. And I'm not saying don't do the Kirkes deal, because I'm not saying Hato will be first choice left back. I think you integrate him into the squad. You use him as cover at centre back when we're needed. And let's be honest, we always need cover at centre back. Joe Gomez injured too much. Quansah off it this year. Konate injury prone again. He seems to be having spells out. And playing next to Van Dijk will be brilliant for him. Same nationality. I just think everything about this transfer would make sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you on the next one.